to ask you, do you know about TOEFL? Or maybe you ever heard about TOEFL, right? Yes, TOEFL, it stands for Test of English as Foreign Language. It is an English proficiency test to enter the universities or to apply employment in the United States or other countries of the world. The test is organized by ETS, Educational Testing Service in United States, and also it takes for test takers around the world. And TOEFL has 4 parts. The first is listening comprehension, and the second is structure and written expressions, and the third is reading comprehension, and the last is writing. And in this occasion, I would like to share some tips and strategies for listening comprehension based on Barham's English practice book. So let's check it out. Well, the first is take notes while you listen. So before working on the questions, you may take a small piece of paper that is the words of the speaker says. But you have to remember that you just write down the major points, so you don't have to try every detail of the dialogues because it's very wasted, right? And second is learn the material of the test based on the questions that I have made based on the Barron's book. There are 2 materials of the test. The first is dialogues, and the second is lectures. Well, in the materials of the dialogues is very easiest one because of why? Because in the dialogues it's usually just use the words and phrases, the daily language, so you can easier to understand it, and you just listen the music, or maybe you can just listen the songs, or maybe you can watch your favorite movie like me. I very love it, Taylor Swift song, so I just try to make usual to the songs of Taylor Swift, and it also very helps me. Well, the third is be familiar with directions. We know that in the exercise there are some different directions, so you have to understand each direction of the exercise. And the material, as I said before, that there are 2 materials in this book. The first is dialogues and the second lectures. Let me give you some tips about to answer the questions of dialogues and lectures. For the first is the dialogues. The first is you just focus on the second speaker, because that usually the answer is what the second speaker say. So you can just focus and you don't hear the previous speaker, because usually it's not really important. So you just focus the second speaker. The second is don't panic if you cannot comprehend forward in complete conversation that I just said before. You just need to capture the idea or content of the conversation. And the third is if you cannot understand what the second speaker is talking about, choose the answer that is most different from what you hear. And the last is understand the forms of functional expressions, such as in the exercise, there are 4 exercise, assumptions, and then predictions, and also suggestions, and the last is implication. So you have to understand the functional expression. And the second is lectures. I will give you some tips about the lectures. For the first is when the narrator reads on the instructions, the part is you should read the answer option at a glance, then record it and estimate what then will be the conversation. And the second is While listening to the conversation, you should know the theme or topic for being discussed. And the third is beware of each question. And the fourth is observe the condition and situations that occur during the conversation takes place, namely concerning the place and time of conversation and what and who is discussed. Well, now I took an example of based on the taste of listening comprehension on the Barron's book. It exercise 9 dialects predictions number 1. There is questions or there is test about there are 2 conversations from woman and Lika. Woman say that I'll have hot tea and a large glass of orange juice. You can just underline this, a large glass of orange juice. And Lika answered the woman, we only have one size orange juice. It's pretty big though. It's pretty big. About like that. And the question is, what will the woman probably do? We can see this in this dialects. Woman just ordered a large glass of orange juice, but Lika say that they just only have one size orange juice, but it's pretty big though. So we just focus on the second speaker say for Lika, because Lika just eats pretty big though, and the woman say a large glass of orange juice. So the woman will probably order the orange juice because it's pretty big though, and Lika say that about like that. So it means that the woman will probably order the orange juice. Well, there are the tips from me based on the listening comprehension based on the Darren's practice exercise book. So I think you must to try and you must to make many exercise in the home, and you have to listen about the English and try to learn English because it can change your world. That's all for the tips and strategies for the listening level. I'm Utari Dwi Sartika. Thanks for attention. Wassalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
Hey boy, make 'em whistle like a missile, bomb, bomb. Every time I show